Welcome to Ravens Over. Please go to my channel, also hit the notification bell and like this video and share for updates. Stops killing Black transgender women. I want to share with this story in reference to Bee Love. I got a lot of information to share with you as far as her life in living. Welcome to
Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? Are you getting it in? Somebody getting it for you? What's going on, people? Subscribe to my channel.
Okay, this is about Bee Love Slater. She was only 23 years old now. For some reason this week, I've gotten tons of mail and people send me stuff on Bee Love Slater. And I want to share this with you as far as the information I have received. Now, this is the thing. Recruitment here is stating that friends say the transgender woman Bee Love Slater was trying to escape her small Florida town just days before she was found burned to death inside of the car. Now, this story is being reported of September the 16th, 2019 now. It's stating that Bee Love Slater was found burned to death inside of a car in Harlem, Florida early this month. Slater was the 18th transgender person to be killed in the U.S. of 2019. Her death has heightened fears amongst transgender people throughout Florida. Slater's friends remember her as a good spirit and a prankster and a joker. They also said that Slater, who had faced transphobia, was attempting to leave Florida days before her death. Hundred County Sheriff's investigators aren't saying whether Slater's gender identity was a motive of her killing. Claudia Harris is the spokesperson for Compass Community Centers, the largest LGBTQ center in Florida, says transgender people has been harassed and abused for living authentically as themselves. Now, on September 4th, Bee became the 18th transgender person to be killed in the U.S. of 2019, all but one woman of color. Now, it is hard. Give me a second. I'm heartsick for Bee Love Slater and the loved ones. Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeted on September the 14th, the murder of a Black transgender woman in crisis as we act now to stop it. Slater was found burned beyond recognition inside of a Chrysler PT Cruiser that was torched and left next to the canal in Harlem, a formal camp for Black farm workers. Now, her death has been heightened to fears among transgender people throughout Florida. Now, people are especially worried in small towns, like said Gabrielle Lee Hurst, a friend of mine, my sister, she's also on this page. Gabrielle Lee Hurst, a mental health worker who lives in nearby Lee County, Florida. Now, Gabrielle Lee Hurst believes that Slater's spirit can't rest until one responsible for her murder has been brought to justice. Now, people tend to be a little bit more closed-minded and not as safe, said Hurst, 31 years old transgender woman. Hendricks County Sheriff's investigators aren't saying whether the gender identity led to Slater's killing. Sometimes the obvious isn't always as obvious. We are following all leads and speaking to many people as possible, Captain Susan Harrell said. Now, it says Slater was one and only, two only transgender people in that area. Slater grew up in a region long known for its smock of rich, moist soil left after parts of Everglades were drained to make way for sugar canes. She lived in nearby Pico, named as the Grassy Waters. Those days, the town of 6,129 is better known for its athlete. A dozen or so residents have played in the NFL. Now, it said in the sound tape that Slater's yellow apartment said that the family requested privacy and would call the police if their wishes weren't respected. Now, Harlem, where Slater was found, is 40 minutes drive near the Edge Lake Ohio Ohikobe. About 2,500 people live there. Census records show about 95% of blacks and the medium household income of 21,927, less than half of Florida average. Now it's stating that the settlement was created in 1928. The sugarcane workers is next to the Lewistown, in the town of 3,705. Is mostly white. Slater was one of the only two openly transgender people in the area. Hers said. Now she was bound to face hostility. Said Hers, who lives in Clediston Town for about 10 years. Merely going outside would put her in danger. You don't go into certain stores. You don't walk into certain streets. Transphobia, fear, or dislike of transgender people run especially strong in some black communities. Hers said. Now, a second. A lot of churches and communities of color are not welcoming, Hers said. Claudia Harrison is a spokesperson for Compass Community Center, the largest LGBTQ centers in Florida, located in West Palm Beach. Even there, Harrison says that transgender people face harassment and abuse. It's easy to forget here in the liberal near the coast how different things are when you heard further west in Palm Beach County in the northern Florida, she said. Pico, Lewiston Town, and are all places where it's definitely more dangerous to be out as trans person, especially a trans woman. Men in particular feel threatened by trans women because they feel it brings their masculinity into question, so they lash out to these women violently. She continued. Harrison suspects that the number of trans women killed in 2019 reaches into its dozens. Often a person's family doesn't accept the trans person's identity and will describe them by gender of birth, so the death is not included in the status, she says. The ugly truth is that despite some of the progress made regarding the rights of trans people in this country, our society is still largely unwilling to accept them for who they are. Trans people who choose to live their lives authentically are in danger every day simply for being themselves. Because her death, Slater has been increasingly defined by her gender choices, especially after undergoing breast augmentation surgery earlier this year, says Ashak Barley, a friend of hers. Augmentation. Now, until she did her transformation, she did not have the confidence, said Billy, 25 years old. I think once she got that, it was a whole different transformation of going from one person who, like, I don't know, to somebody who is, there is me and there is nothing anybody can do. I feel like there was no stopping her. Slater, who worked as a security guard, had hoped to travel to Atlanta for Labor Day and LGBTQ events. Now, she wanted to hang out, but Belly said, but she worried about traveling into the path of the Hurricane Doreen, which triggered evacuation in Florida. She felt safer being here than going to someplace she didn't know. Now, it also states that a few days before her body was found, Slater became the subject of a vicious rumor. Someone on Twitter accused Slater of having sex with the middle school age children. Somebody needs to kill Bee Love, a message said. Slater's denied the accusations on Facebook. Y'all be wanting to find out something negative about me so bad y'all can run with it and try to drag my name through the mud. Trust me, I will never give y'all the satisfaction, which is something that they do. They try to think that since you're trans, you molested children. That old damn thing that people do when they try to find a way to attack you, they put children involved. This is how they try to get anyone killed. It is an old tactic that has been sent around for a long period of time. She also put up there, y'all be wanting to find something negative about me so bad that y'all can run with it and try to drag my name through the mud. Trust me, I will never give y'all the satisfaction. And thanks for everybody that really fuck with me and know something I would do. Know something that fuck with me and know something I would do and wouldn't. Bitches that fuck with me would never share or give life to something like that. Hashtag she blocked the person. And despite the blister, friends said that Slater wanted to get out of town. A friend goes by the name of Kennard Wade on Facebook posted a prepared text messages conversation with Slater saying that she wanted to move. Wade's respond, nobody supports your decision like me, so let's go. Slater respond, okay, we living in the car until we get a job and stay in a safe place. Now Wade didn't respond to the request for the comment but wrote on Facebook, I love you. Best friend praying I'm just having a nightmare and everything will be normal when I wake up. Slater was a good-spirited prankster joker, said Aunt Williams, who assisted with the candlelight visual in her Pahiko. For her in Pahiko. Her case stands out, he said, because of the documented of her gender transition and social media is enduring hostility in the conversation pocket in South Florida. She had only her friends to help protect her, he said. Then there was some text messages of, she said, girl, I want to move. This is what she said. Slater said, girl, I want to move. I don't want to be here. And the friend said, I can't be a best friend. What the hell? Laugh out loud. Then she says, we can stay in a hotel. Laugh out loud. Laugh my ass off. I feel I'm going to get myself into trouble if I stay here as long. That's why, while I have a chance, I want to get the fuck away before I pay my bills, etc. And the friend said, you for real? You should know that by now. I'm texting. Nobody supports your decision like me, the friend said. Laugh my ass off. Okay, we're living in the car until we get a job and a place to stay. And then she, the conversation left as that. And it says other friends, including some used the male pronouns, referred to Slater and said they still missed her. They put she was so precious, living and kind, but they didn't use she. Of course, now people are. A friend who goes by the name of Tanisha Jones said, I'm gonna put she because ignorance is proud and living. She didn't mess with anyone, but yet and still you misgendered her, but yet and still unbelievable. All she wanted to do was level up in her life and live. So sad she had to go through such a horrific death. It saddens me every day. Her said that she didn't know Slater but considers her a sister. Some of our family has disowned us. She said we become each other's family member. Her journey is my journey. I know what it would be like to be misunderstood. She had dreams. She wanted to live and love and grow. Oh, her said her spirit can't rest until the ones responsible for murder has been brought into justice. Now, Hendry County Sheriff's Department says that a little about the case has been redacted. Nearly every word from 14 pages of incident report on the killing. If you saw anything suspicious, we ask you to contact us immediately. Sheriff Steve Wyden said in a statement, authorities is offering up to $3,000 for information about the case. Callers can be reached at the sheriff's office at 863-674-5600. That's 863-674-5600. And Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS 8477. Now, I want to take you to the video I seen in reference to the news clip and stuff. Check this out.
Back in the cut. I don't know who shit it is with that bitch on fire. Waking me up out my sleep and shit. And fighting drug power and shit. This shit real deal on.
The murder of an African-American transgender woman from Hokie has created a lot of concerns in South Florida's transgender community. WPTV News Channel 5's Arthur Mondale explains tonight why investigators still work on a motive in this case. Activists are putting the spotlight on what has become a larger issue nationwide.
The mother of Bee Love Slater didn't want to go on camera and friends fear retribution, but advocates are not afraid to speak out, telling me they're fueled by the underreported level of violence in the transgender community.
It's mind-boggling, brutal.
That's the response from trans community activists describing the death of 23-year-old Bee Love Slater of Pahokee. On September 4th, Hendry County Sheriff's deputies found Slater's body in a burned vehicle. This is the 18th murder in the trans community nationwide this year. 17 of the women killed are disproportionately black. While the motive remains unknown, activists say the crime underlines the hard intersections of race and identity in South Florida.
Supposedly one of the most progressive on LGBT stuff. Well, we're not. And it's going to take a lot more to get us to a point where trans women of color or any person that's different feels safe to walk outside their door, to go out to a bar, or to do their job.
I think that the transgender community, especially transgender people of color, are at the bottom right now in our society, unfortunately.
Both Orion and Reardon also say the latest murder is a sign of a much larger cultural issue.
I think that the community is under attack on a national level.
But advocates hope the attention gives light to a problem.
Hopefully a resolution to the situation by showing people that it's an issue and people here exist and we need to treat everyone with respect and love.
Rest in peace. Like I said before, the authorities are offering up to $3,000 for information about the case. The callers can be reached. The callers can reach the sheriff's office at 863-674-5600 and Crime Stop at 1-800-780-TIPS 8477. I mean, this is just so devastating on so many levels. Beautiful girl just murdered. Not only murdered, but set on fire. That's execution. And for what? For what? Rest in peace, my baby sister, Bee Love. And thank you, Gabrielle, for giving your voice for her to let them know what we're going through. Thank you, sister. I love you. You know, the thing is that she was so set on fire. Look at the grass even burnt up. Fires being set on fire. Look how burnt the grass is. She tweeted she wanted to get out of there. She didn't want to be there. Yet and still, she ended up murdered. This is why you always trust your gut. Trust your gut. If your gut telling you to do something, you stop everything and do it. Beautiful young, 23 years old, just a baby, just starting out on life, and here's we celebrating her death. Unbelievable. Candle lights up for Bee Love, and for what? Anyway, I wanted to do the update in this and stuff. They have not found the killer who killed her. So like I said before, I want y'all to share this video every way you can. We're going to find this killer who killed this beautiful girl. She had a chance at life, and somebody took it away. They had no right. And if you're the kind of person that killed her, turn yourself in. We will not stop until you are locked up for what you done, because what you done is wrong. This girl family needed her to come home. We needed our sisters to grow and live. Yet and still, you felt as though you had the right to take her away from us, and you were wrong. So I feel like due to the fact you feel like you need to do what you got to do, I think my soldiers, we got to do what we got to do. We have to fight for our sisters in her death. Share this video every way you can. We got to get the message out there that if you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us. Burnt up inside of a car, burnt beyond recognition. Unbelievable. Anyway, like I said before, subscribe to my channel. This is when I do the updates and stuff. You can get more feedback on what's happening, how far progress we gotten to. And all I can say is please be safe out there, my sisters. Please be safe out there to everybody. Like I said before, subscribe to my channel. Top there's the Instagram button. This is just to update it, maybe more. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. I will let you. I love you, and thank you for watching. Kestari.